Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
When I think about generational wealth, I think about history. I think about the history of exploitation, what led us to today. Some people live a certain social economic way, and the majority does not get to live in that same way. Perhaps they don't want to live that way. I don't know.
Generational wealth has some really strong positives and some really strong negatives. At its best, it's ways that communities can grow, find security for themselves. It's a way to make sure that your children and their children and each generation thereafter has opportunities to find joy and growth and make a difference in the world.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and this is my real voice. Honest, you're hearing it on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Should have told her you were sorry. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me means to provide and establish wealth for generations to come, whether it be through real estate or through other equitable funding, stocks, bonds, but first of all, I think that general wealth starts with the securing property. And that's it.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
God is Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your favorite community radio station. We're putting out all kind of inputs for you in your community. So come on and listen to us and tune us in, get on our Facebook, Instagram, and all. As we're doing it right here for you in your community with Rainier Avenue Radio.world. And God is an inspiration of gospel music. Also, we're doing a lot of different things in your community. We give out free food. We give out a lot of things in your community. We do a lot of shows. We do a lot of things on the sports part, and we want you to come on out and tune us in and come to the community, and we do a lot of things in your community. So make sure you go to our website, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, and also go to the God Is website and look us up and see what we do in your community, something maybe you might like. So come on by and check us out from 11 to 2. Free food giveaway.
On Rainier Avenue Radio.world, look for the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show. I'm Dennis Weaver, your good food guide and host, helping you to feel good and look good, and who wouldn't want some of that? All that and more from the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Stories, songs, and guests. Begin living the organic good food life, and the rest of your life just may be the best of your life. What's up, baby? To your help.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violetta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio. We are live at Yesler Terrace Park. It is Black Earth Day. How you doing, Mr. Wilson?
Good, Mr. Benson.
Joining me also is, of course, Daniel Bellis and Charlie Darnell will be making his inaugural appearance here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Black Earth Day. A lot going on here today. If you can join us, come on down physically to Yesler Terrace Park, right on the corner of what is this block street here?
Broadway.
And Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, right on the corner of Yesler and Broadway. Beautiful day. I thought it was supposed to rain today.
coming a little later. I'm not a meteorologist, but it's coming around noon.
We are here to celebrate the earth, environmental justice and climate justice. As a matter of fact, on the 22nd, which is Earth Day, we will be kicking off Our Earth Deserves More Than a Day, and we'll be celebrating for an entire week.
And where's that going to be?
I'm sorry?
Where's that going to take place?
Well, you know where it's taking place.
Well,
It's
tell
at
the
the
folks.
Columbia City Theater, and you can go there and check out everything physically, and you can also listen on Rainier Avenue Radio, and we'll be broadcasting everything. And then after we broadcast it, you can listen on demand as well.
Okay.
So we've got a great week of Earth called Earth Deserves More Than a Day. Mr. Wilson, tell me about your experience. You've become more ingrained in environmental justice. What's that experience been like for you over the past few weeks?
Well, it's been enlightening because I had never dived into it before.
Mm-hmm.
And so learning that is Black Earth Day is for people of color, and we aren't gravitating towards that cause. And so what I'm learning is that the more we get involved, the more we learn, the more we get involved, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. And again, we're going to tell you a little bit more about what's going on here at Black Earth. They actually, the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle is hosting this event. They're going to be here doing interviews, conducting interviews with folks who are participating in today's festivities. And yeah, we're going to let them take that away as soon as they get ready. They're setting things up right now. Okay. Again, I'm Tony B. We are live here at Yesler Terrace Park celebrating Black Earth Day. Earth Day is actually on April 22nd. And
the day we kick off those 5 days.
Yeah, the day that we kick off the 5 days. We're starting on April 22nd. We'll go all the way through the 26th. Beautiful day out here today. We're going to take a look at some of the vendors. And there's Nick Jeffries over there. He'll be here soon conducting interviews for you. And you know what? Mr. Wilson, if you don't mind, if you want to switch places with Mr. Darnell.
I don't mind at all.
And we will get him on the air for his first Rainier Avenue Radio appearance.
All right, that's on the tour.
How's it going?
Fantastic. And Charlie, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day at Yesler Terrace Park. Happy to be
Hey,
here.
Liz, how are you? Oh, thank you. Liz Davis, by the way.
Oh, hi, everybody. We're going to do some grounding and meditation over at one of at the big legacy tree down here.
Oh, let me see if do we have the wireless mic, Daniel? No wireless mic. Any other mics?
You want to use this?
Okay, yeah, well, why don't we do that for a second? And let's talk about what you got going on there.
Thank you.
Well, Liz just stopped by, but this is how it's going to be all day long here as we celebrate.
Can you pull that plastic little envelope right there? You see the plastic envelope
As we
on the
celebrate
edge?
Black Earth Day here at Yesler Terrace Park, we're going to be grabbing people, and good to see you. So, Liz, now that we can hear you.
Yes, hi.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, getting stronger every day.
All right.
And I'm so happy to say that. I can let people see my eyes. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to have your story of transformation form both what you do in your life and passion, and to then share it with others.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at.
All right.
Building the business, coming into the opportunities to give workshops, do individual work, train people in energy healing. That has been what has both allowed me to pivot through pandemic, Wellness Center with Niles Edge closed, and yet we are all still here serving and working through our passion.
Now, what does it mean to you personally to be celebrating here today, Black Earth Day?
Oh my goodness. It means that I get to remember my grandmother spending time in the garden, growing her maize. I heard the word maize at home before I understood corn, right? And we didn't, I'm 11 of 12. And so I have the siblings who grew up with her, right? The fullness of growing up with her. Well, she let us little ones come help in the garden, but we didn't know we was pulling weeds, but we was with Granny in the garden. And I remember that time as my special time with her.
Yeah.
And
what a great memory.
I'm in Yesler Terrace. Tony, I was born here. And so we had gardens. This was one of our garden communities from the time of the war to make sure people were fed. A lot of the food came right here from Yesler Terrace.
Wow. Great information.
Right?
Great information.
So for me to be back here under the legacy tree, being asked by the Black Farmers Collective to say, hey, yes, we want healing, we want that element, who can we call on? That was an easy yes.
Now, what are you doing here today? You got,
I
brought something going on
I
here.
brought a poster so that, y'all would know this is what's happening. So Patricia Valentine has been working with me in our Reiki healing. So that's the energy healing. And it's based with laying on of hands. Well, we've been laying on of hands for millennia, right? And now we bring that energy into the aspect of activating our body's ability to heal.
Okay.
Because we must heal.
Okay.
We are suffering, we as in African Americans, we are suffering at higher numbers than what is the average base of study, which is the average white male and female. We're dying from preventable diseases, Tony.
Yeah.
The diabetes, the hypertension, the obesity. We can reverse it.
Yeah.
And when we are examples of it, which I know you are also an example of coming through good healing, right? Where you had to work through it. And I won't tell your story unless you give me permission, but I bring that into this conversation because that's kindred.
Yeah.
Knowing that we can make it through.
Well,
what can challenge us in our health.
It's important that we share those stories. A lot of times we don't share those stories because we see them as giving up our strength or showing signs of weakness.
Come on.
But at the end of the day, health is something that it's important.
It's so important.
And it can happen to anyone.
It can. And it is our strength.
Yeah.
And the ebb and flow of health and the stressors that are around us every day, especially the micro stressors that are put on Blacks.
Yeah.
This is where growing our own food, understanding about what the earth brings, understanding about the programs and allowing us turn your grass to food. We must do it, even in the pots.
Yeah.
I'm now, the mama of a few plants that have lived longer than a year. I'm now able to move into the herbs, and I'm so excited to be able to do that and get starts here today.
Now, where is and what time are you doing the meditation today?
12 o'clock is the anticipated time.
Okay.
And from where you're located, from this tent, we are down to the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, and our photographer is here.
I'm sorry?
One of our volunteer photographers.
Oh.
For Hanu, thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. One of our community connectors, right? The owner of Togo Coffee, which is right across the street.
Okay.
So the legacy tree it's big and it sits on its own mound.
Okay.
Just down the hill of the park right here. And so I've got some cardboard, just grab some poster boards so you won't have to crunch on the wood chips.
Okay.
We're going to be as comfortable as we can, and we're going to plant initiative, our intentions for this initiative, for this time right now.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you for letting me stop and
If
share.
folks want more information, how can they get in touch with you? You have a website or
Yes.
social media?
So the website is Your Holistic You. So it's YOUR. Black Power Reiki is on Instagram.
Okay.
And Reiki is spelled REIKI.
Okay. Liz, thanks so much for joining us, stopping by. Great to see you.
And I'm so glad you're here and continue to bring voices to our community as well as yours. I'll leave this for you.
Leave this with us, and we'll talk about it.
Right.
Noon until
Probably one. It's
okay.
We'll do 30 minutes to an hour. I don't want to keep people too long.
Okay.
But we're gonna do what it do.
All right.
I love chatting with you. Thank
the
you so
legacy tree.
Come on down, you guys. There's time. Let's meditate. Let's plant some intentions and make your growth happen. Is an elder and a phenomenal healer here in Seattle, and she has been co-teaching with me with Black Power Reiki since the inception, so 2019. So she will be here as well with this meditation experience. So,
all right,
okay, now I'm done.
Okay, Charlie. Well, we just had a wonderful conversation with Liz Davis, who's doing guided meditation here for Black Earth Day under the Legacy Tree. Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Lovely day.
All right. Well, this is, again, your inaugural appearance on Rainier Avenue Radio. You started with us a little, maybe over 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Just a little over 3 weeks, yeah.
A little over 3 weeks
ago.
Tell us what it's been like for you to be engaged, involved with, working with Rainier Avenue Radio. What's your experience been like? Kind of putting you on the spot here.
No, yeah. It is an experience that has opened me up to a lot of people that I was. So in the conversations that you have with the participants that we're going to have, you can feel how much they care about it and how crucial it feels to have these sorts of discussions. And I think that's been the most rewarding part of it, is kind of like by osmosis feeling how important it is to these people. And that makes it rewarding to work on.
And for you, what are your thoughts about being here at Yesler Terrace Park today to celebrate Black Earth Day?
It's a beautiful event. Shout out to Nick and Camille from the Urban Metropolitan League of Seattle for putting this together. This is wonderful. We're Black Farmers Collective. And then after that, a presentation, a panel that is very dear to my heart. My good friend Kyle Yasui will be presenting from the Earth Service Corps about youth involvement and environmental advocacy. And we will have the Lincoln High School Environmental Club leader, Ruby Dykstra, a big hitter in high school environmental justice work.
And that's just Monday.
That's just Monday.
That's just Monday. So if you get the opportunity to come down to the Columbia City Theater on Monday, come on down. It's free 99.
Free 99. Completely free.
$3. Or if you can't make it down, some of you are going to be at work during that time and during normal business hours. Just tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio. We'll be broadcasting.
And afterwards, it's all on demand. If you miss it both times, you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it after it happens. I also think one important thing to mention is if you're looking to get interested in this type of work, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great professional networking opportunity for people. You're going to get to learn a ton about different perspectives on environmental justice. And we hope to widen the scope of what we even mean when we say environmental justice. So I think it's going to be a really important opportunity if you're looking to get involved in helping this earth out.
All right, we are going to go to a commercial break. When we come back from commercial break, we may have the Urban League here doing interviews. I know that they've got a schedule, and I believe I have that schedule here too. Charlie, the Urban League.
We may.
I have it right here. I think. No, that's not it. Well, we'll find that for you, and we'll get folks.
I got it. We got
Hey,
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, you're kidding.
Can I give you a hug or not?
Yes, Kima. Oh, great to see you.
Am I on right now?
You're on right now.
Who are we talking to?
We're talking to a live audience listening to us on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Yeah, give me the motherfucking headphones. Excuse me. Can I cuss?
Well, you can't.
Too late. Too late. I'm not gonna do it again.
You know what, Kima? I'm gonna let you do your thing here, but I want to ask you, why is it important for you to be here today celebrating Black Earth Day?
Well, oh shit. Listen, I'm new, y'all. I'm here with I'm here with Black Girls Matter from YWE. So it's more than just being here for myself. I'm also here to seed into young minds and get them, I guess, comfortable with being in community, being comfortable with sharing the love around like the importance of gardening, the importance of feeding yourself and knowing how to feed yourself. It's bigger than these restaurants. It's bigger than Uber Eats. It's bigger than DoorDash. It's about learning how to get your hands in the soil and actually providing for yourself. So hopefully it inspires them to do that today.
Wow.
I'm good on camera.
And you know, I'm thinking your glasses.
Oh, you know, these old things. Or I ain't gonna shout them out because they need to sponsor me, but thank you.
And so you are an artist as well.
Okay, go ahead, blow me up, Tony. Blow me up. Yes, I'm an artist. Everybody hire me. Yes, I have art around the community.
Yeah.
I have it at Fauvon, although graffiti artists are tagging it up. There's another mural that I'm worked on at Beersheba.
Okay.
And my most recent project, it has yet to be put in pavement yet, but it's the intersection mural, a intersection mural. And it's at the intersection of Henderson and Lake Washington, right in front of Beersheba.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up soon. Check me out. So yes. We'll be doing all those things.
Well, congratulations. And,
thank you.
You have a booth here?
I do not. I'm here because I'm working. Like, I shouldn't even be on this camera because I'm working.
Okay.
But
does your organization have a booth?
No, YWE does not have a booth here. We're just here to support the event.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can find you anywhere around.
Yes, yellow dress. You'll see me.
Well, it is so awesome to see you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Shoni, you're doing so good. I remember when this was a baby, and that was like what, 6 years ago?
Yeah. Oh boy, you have it.
Yes. So the fact that we're here, we're doing this, I have a headset on. This was just a seed. This was a baby. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
My mouth is foul. Don't hire me. My mouth is foul.
Oh, but your energy is amazing.
Thank you.
Daniel, let's take a commercial break. And we're going to see about getting the folks here from the Urban League and doing some interviews of the guests that we have here. Again, Rainier Avenue Radio. It's me, Tony B, my guest.
Hey.
And we'll be back in about 3-4 minutes and start doing some interviews.
Host of Start Time. And when I'm not deep frying a turducken in a closed garage, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Did you know that there's an updated COVID-19 booster that protects you even more than the original vaccines? Even if you got the first vaccinations, now it's time to get this new updated booster shot. It's especially important for adults 50 and over and people with a compromised immune system. Even though you may not hear about people catching COVID as often, each week in King County, some people even end up in the hospital because of it. So check with your loved ones and make sure they've gotten an updated booster. For more information on where to get a COVID vaccine, including free vaccination resources, visit kingcounty.gov/vaccines. kingcounty.gov/vaccines.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living, broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not shouting, "Badia!" at city council meetings, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth, it's this idea of like hard work that gets carried on that had been executed from ancestors, and so the generations down the line are a bit more set up already, like in a very favorable position financially to succeed. And it kind of makes me think of like privilege a lot, because when I think about stuff like gentrification or people with privilege or in a more privileged position in like the current society as it is right now, I think of this idea that they probably had this generational
Test extra mic.
This campaign
Test extra mic.
Generational Wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhoods Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing
Live
Finance
from Black
Commission,
Earth
Rainier
Day.
Avenue Radio.
Can you hear us?
Welcome to the Fitness Corner. I'm your host, Mark Bryant, and you're going to get a whole total body workout on my show, starting off with a warm-up, aerobics, strength training, cool down, and stretching every Friday from 11:30 to 12 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not translating the lyrics of Boogie Oogie Oogie for bored Europeans, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Hey Seattle, here are some storage tips to love food, stop waste. Onions make potatoes sprout faster. Keep onions away from potatoes. Ripe bananas give off a gas that makes the fruit around them ripen faster. Store bananas away from other fruits. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
And welcome to our live studio audience for another exciting edition of Did You Know? And here we go with round one. Did you know?
COVID vaccine is free and easy to get. You don't need insurance or an appointment to get your vaccine. Vaccines are available at many locations near you.
And now we're going to double the value. Did you know?
The COVID-19 vaccine is always free of cost. You can visit pharmacies, community health centers, and other health providers in your neighborhood.
And now for the lightning round. Did you know?
The Delta variant of COVID is a mutation that has health experts worried because it's twice as contagious.
Then for our finale. Did you know?
The best way to protect yourself from the COVID Delta variant is to get fully vaccinated. Get your vaccine today.
Find out more at kingcounty.gov/vaccine. Did you know?
Dealing with COVID-19 is uncharted territory, and everyone has different challenges. People may feel anxious, down, or overwhelmed. For some, these feelings can lead to changes in sleep patterns, an increased use of alcohol or drugs, or withdrawing from the people around them. If you know someone who's having a hard time coping, you can help by reaching out to talk and listen. To learn more about how you can help someone in need, call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK. Brought to you by the state of Washington.
Different rules apply when it gets this late, you know what I mean? It's like after hours.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
Hello, I'm an unpaid spokesman for DJ Sotovaci. I'd like to invite you to listen to his free-form music show. It's popular music the way it was never intended to be heard. Whatever gets you through the night, late nights, here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Whatever gets you through the night.
What's going on, world? It's your boy OG Mambo.
And your guy D Money. Join us along with Pint Size Patron and ID Yourself.
On Fresh Juice at Rainier Avenue Radio.
Every Wednesday hump day from 9 to 11 Pacific.
Get exclusive interviews from your favorite artists, all the hottest music, and updates on what we got going on in the world.
That's every Wednesday, 9 to 11 p.m. on Seattle's Rainier Avenue Radio.
Ang King County Parks ay naghahanap ng opinyon o palagay tungkol sa susunod na pakaw na kung saan susuporta sa iyong local na parking, mga landas o daan at mga lugar sa labas. Ipaalam sa kanila kung paano pagbutihin ang mga panglabas na lugar, panlabas na espasyo sa komunidad. Kumuha ng survey sa Abril 29 sa kingcounty.gov/survey. Parks Levy.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me means to provide and establish wealth for generations to come, whether it be through real estate or through other equitable funding, stocks, bonds, but first of all, I think that general wealth starts with securing property. And that's it.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.org. Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
Hey, this is Paul Pearson. I've hosted the R&B show Star Time since the very beginning of Rainier Avenue Radio, and after years of featuring tracks from the 50s through the 80s, Star Time now plays R&B and hip-hop from the 1990s as well. A whole half-century of soul, funk, hip-hop, and more on Star Time, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not explaining to my intern exactly what R&B is, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
My name is Keith. I'm a barber from Tacoma, Washington. When the pandemic hit, it did affect me as a business owner. I had my own personal reasons why I didn't get vaccinated. But I was talking to a doctor, and he was telling me more about what it could do to protect us and our family. I wanted to get back to that once was, right? I do feel safe knowing that I am vaccinated. I just hope what I'm saying is reaching into people's heads to know that this is the best decision for all of us. To learn more, please visit hereforuswa.org.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not meeting Mrs. Jones in that cafe for a chat and nothing else, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and this is my real voice. Honest, you're hearing it on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Should have told her you were sorry.
Doon na nanda mga tataro siya mga nindike ang andrebo chigumay na King County Parks. Arato ang andrebo chiguna no mriba kasama na leoni bunua muni sulamay rani bukia na kana mga turoy da kitaki na iba baba and those sul mebike da na nonda pa ang ataka na puno ni ngande na rara puno ni tombale na bika and do ba ang ataka itu and a King County Park. Sakre kina yabi ke muni Suleiman no muni baka sama leoni bunua rani ni punia na baka taro siya na baka dindikan go and a kingcounty.gov/levy ya na link chico and ka rosa bukayo ni bulgo preli sangandrevi misul mekina baka targo and kingcounty.gov/parks/levy.
This is Brenda Charles Edwards, host of Seniors Matter. Join me every week to get information on activities and issues that impact the lives of older adults and their families. That's Seniors Matter every week on Rainier Avenue Radio.
On Rainier Avenue Radio.world, look for the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show. I'm Dennis Weaver, your good food guide and host, helping you to feel good and look good. And who wouldn't want some of that? All that and more from the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Stories, songs, and guests. Begin living the organic good food life for the rest of your life. Just may be the best of your life. Always up, baby, to your help.
Anong mga aktibidad, konbensya, at mga programa ang gusto mong makita sa inyong mga parke at daanan? Magbigay ng puna sa King County Parks Levy hanggang Abril 29. Kunin ang kanilang survey at tumulong sa paghubog ng kinabukasan ng mga lokal na panlabas na espasyo.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not busy tearing the roof off the suckers, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not driving my sweet AMC Pacer through the car wash, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. You missed a spot.
We need your help finding community members to help shape the future of your utilities and the environment. We have 2 exciting opportunities for the public to work with Seattle Public Utilities, the Customer Review Panel, CRP, and the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, SWAC. CRP and SWAC are looking for new members to contribute expertise and passion to help improve utility services and advance our commitment to environmental stewardship and social justice. Applications can be found at seattle.gov/utilities/community-advisory-recruitment. Hey, can you run that back? Applications can be found at seattle.gov/utilities/community-advisory-recruitment. Thank you. The deadline for both opportunities is April 20th.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are here at Black Earth Day over at Yesler, and I'm here sitting with Lindwa.
Yes.
My name is Zaina, here helping out at Black Earth Day. It is a beautiful day out here. Couldn't be better. And we're excited to be able to chat with some of our amazing vendors today and learn about them and have some good conversations. So welcome, Kalindwa.
Thank you for having me. On air. Never been on air before, so this is really exciting.
Yeah, this is exciting. So good to sit here with you and get to chat with you. Yeah, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and who is Kalindwa?
Ooh, yes. My name is Kalindwa. I'm from Tanzania.
Yes! So I'm from Zanzibar.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm half Zanzibari, half Filipino.
What? Okay, it's so rare to meet other Tanzanians out and about, and so it's really exciting. We should for sure connect after this. But yeah, I'm from Tanzania. Seattle has been a place that really has shaped and grown me, and I really appreciate like being able to grow, but also being able to be a part of Black Earth Day today as well. And I'm an economist. I'm an artist. I am lots of things. I work for nonprofits, and so I really love being about community and building relationships.
That's amazing. An economist?
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's so cool. So you said you're an economist.
Mm-hmm.
You work nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
You're about community building.
I'm an artist
You're
as
an
well.
artist. What kind of art do you do?
I do all kinds. I'm actually a multifaceted storyteller. That's what I like to call myself. I write poetry. I write stories. I write essays. I also manage another artist actually. And yeah, just being able to, have access to art and in a ways of it being a way of community and self-liberation. So that's what I really enjoy about like art as a form of self-expression. And I feel like a lot of communities, especially Black communities, are able to, really stay who they are and, be able to like express themselves really freely through art. And that's one thing I appreciate about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And then how did you get involved with Black Earth Day and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really great. So I work with Diaspora Roasting Cafe, and we are a small young business, and we hope to build more relationships through the product that we produce, which is like a coffee-like, but it's not. So the way I like to express it's called Yalpan. It's a caffeinated plant that's native to the Americas. The indigenous tribes originally that utilized it brewed it and cultivated it and like studied it. And so like teas from Asia, coffees from Africa, and Yalpan is from Turtle Island, now known as the United States. Wow. Yeah, and so we make espresso-like drinks, we make chai, we make cold brew, and it's a regenerative plant. And also, we want to source things that sustainable. And it was important to us for be here today because historically, Black folks have been at the bottom line in terms of like the forefront of governments and businesses and systems and policies. So it was important for us to be here today because just being able to like have an event that centers Black people, the relationship, like restoring the relationship to the land, especially of how traumatic that has been for our people. And so again, it was important for us to like just show solidarity with Urban League and the Black Farmers Collective, but also just being able to be in community with folks and introduce ourselves.
That's awesome. Have you been having some good conversations out here?
Yes.
Talking to people, and
Yes.
asking about what you do and everything. Tell me about how has community building and relationship building been today?
Today it's actually been pretty good. I think the sun is out, Seattle, and the sun is out, everyone's out. Everyone's just dancing and vibing and just enjoying life. And that's kind of like what I like to see. So, and also be a part of. So yeah, a lot of people are like, we love some little caffeine. I was like, this is great caffeine. Get some caffeine in you, get some little drink, get a little cold brew. It's always good.
So you have all that over at your table right now? What do you have at your
Yes.
table
Well,
so
right
people can
now
know?
we have the Magnolia Cold Brew. It's our seasonal special, one of our signature drinks. I'll for sure suggest people come to the booth and try it out and learn more about Yaupon and Diaspora Cafe.
That's so cool. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's flavor-wise, like what can people expect? What's different from what maybe they've had before?
So it's very much, it has a very earthy taste to it. I would say it has some chocolate notes as well. And so it's when you taste it, you wouldn't say, "Oh, this is coffee. This is tea." You just say, "Oh, it's on its own thing."
That's
a little
so
bit.
cool.
And we love making we like cute little syrups, like rose syrup. We have our elderflower syrups. And it's a good time, You probably should come by sometime.
I definitely should. Tell me where you're based.
Right there. Oh, actually, like the location of our store.
Yeah, where are you? Where can people find you?
Well, people can find us on our website. We're hoping to open a brick and mortar really soon, and right now we're just looking for a location to open at.
Okay, so
Yes.
if anyone's listening and has some ideas for a good location, a good brick and mortar,
Yes.
where this amazing company can operate out of.
Yes,
know.
let us know. Also, our website, we update our events pretty often. So if you go to Diaspora Cafe, Diaspora Seattle Cafe, it should give you a lot of information. And also, we're always at the Fremont Farmers Market every Sunday.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's a great spot.
It's a great spot. Every Sunday, you'll see our other coworkers there, like Khalil and Hector and Dorian and Ian. So we're a small crew, but we have a lot of fun working together.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's awesome. How did you get into?
So it was actually funny. I saw the caterer Liza's post on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is so great. We need to be a part of it. And I went and talked to my colleagues, and they're like, absolutely, we should be a part of this. And so Nick and Gabrielle, who are the organizers, were so gracious and were like, absolutely, we should have you over because your values of your organization ours align really well. And so, yeah, that's how I ended up here.
That's beautiful. What do you think is like? How important is it for people to see representation when it comes to being outdoors?
Yes.
Environmental
Yes.
justice, hands in the dirt, like all of that. What's the importance of seeing people that look like us out here?
It's actually really important. I feel like because of history, it's very complicated, and I think our relationship with the land has been really severed for real, like in ways that like we don't think that we are meant to be in these places or even have grow our own food or be able to. I know in Africa specifically, farming isn't seen as like a job that you want to do necessarily, and I was like, why not? Like our earth is what feeds us, is what our traditions and lives were based from. And so I think it's really incredible being able to be here today and see our community be able to restore that relationship, not just with the land but with each other, and be like, you systems can say things, but that's not what defines us at all. We'll make our own space for ourselves. So I think that's how I feel about it. And so it's really important. And so I'm just happy to be here and hang out with folks.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long have you been in Seattle?
I've been in Seattle for almost since 2020, so 4 years now. Doesn't
What?
feel like that long.
Wow. And then before that, you were
I was in Oregon.
in Oregon.
And before that, I was in Tanzania. So
Yeah.
I went to school at Oregon State University. I graduated there with a bachelor's in economics, and then moved to Seattle to work for a nonprofit. And that did like a lot of family after school program and family resource. And then now I'm a diaspora. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. How has it been like finding community in Seattle? You came here during the pandemic.
Yes.
So yeah, like a lot of people say, oh, there's the Seattle freeze. It's hard to make friends, it's hard to make community. So what's your experience been like, and what would be your advice for someone that is trying to find community here?
That's actually a really, really good question. I think Seattle can be really isolating. I'm not gonna lie about that. It can be really isolating. At the same time, I think there is a lot of opportunity because to like build community, I think I would suggest one, first have a good relationship with yourself. You know, be able
I
to
love
like
that.
be able to like know who you are as a person and like be able to be your authentic self no matter what, and not letting the outside forces define you. Because the only way to build real community is by being yourself. And I also realized, you know, community, a lot of it is usually based on like circumstance. Oh, we went to school together, or we worked together, we live in the same neighborhood. And I think folks forget like it's about intentionality and actually being like, okay, you know, if I'm gonna say I want to build community, you have to actually carve out the time and its intentionality to actually follow up on those invitations that folks are, oh yeah, let's hang
that's
out.
the hard part.
And they're like, yeah, let's hang out. And it's,
I know, because it can be so easy to be like, I don't know, it's gray out, it's rainy out, let me just stay inside with a book and some tea or something.
And so, and then, you know, it's winter. Also, as you know, as melanated folks, we need a lot of sun. And so I feel like still like, I think we can still like find ways to still connect. And lastly, I guess I forgot my other point. Oh yeah, I think also, you know, be clear. Once you spend time with yourself and know who you are, you understand what your values are, and then build your friendships and community based on your values versus like, okay, cool, I really value folks who actually make time to make with their friends, you know. I really value folks who just like make it based on like friends who are making food together, or like honesty. Conflict resolution is another one, because I feel like conflict helps put together, because then you're able to communicate your boundaries and limits in ways that are healthy.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're really taught how to do that either. But also, we're not really taught how to be friends either that well. So I feel like understanding, like, you know, for me, I know I'm friends with a person if I can be conflict with you, and you know, we actually because people be busy, you know, that's true, life just be busy. And especially this capitalistic society where you you work from when you wake up to go sleep, or like, I think, you know, being able to like sit with ourselves and be like, is this really what I want? And like, how can I actually incorporate the things that give me life into the life that I want to live? And a part of it is community. And so, yeah, and also, you know, take your time, you know, like there are some times you will be alone, and maybe those are just times for you to like figure out and discover who you are as a person. And that's been true for me. I think I have different pockets of communities in around Seattle and outside Seattle. And there are times where I'm just like, okay, cool, maybe the season's just me. And then after a while, it kind of changes over time. But I also need to be willing to take risks to like introduce yourself and
put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there and stuff like that. So those, I guess, are like my things that have worked for me, coming from a person who's like moved to a different country by myself and started over multiple times. I think the biggest lesson I've learned is, you know, be able to be my authentic self no matter what. Because in the end, like, I think everyone just wants to be known and be seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the part that is really hard for folks. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. That's such a beautiful answer, and I'm glad that we got to, you know, that I got to ask you that question and hear your response, because having moved from another country and then another state during a pandemic, and then it's 2020 is when you moved, so then we're all locked down in our houses. It's all Zoom hangouts and stuff like that, and I really appreciate your perspective. And a lot of people maybe, you know, feel lonely or like that they aren't seen or witnessed, and I think your perspective was really important. It made me feel good anyway, hearing that, you know, we want to be seen, we want to be witnessed.
Yes.
And it does start from within. And sometimes there's a quiet season. And I love what you said about like conflict resolution and like learning how to really like be in relation with friends and with community. Because a lot of times I think we talk about like the world we want to see and that's this large scale, but like it starts with our one-on-one relationships. It starts with our small group, and that's where we practice like how we want to be with each other, and then that expands and ripples out. And so it is really worth it to start with these small relationships and be like, okay, how can I be my best self in this? How can I be intentional in this relationship and stuff like that? So
yeah, what is your experience like building community?
Yeah, so I'm from Ohio. I moved here in 2018, and I was really lucky to get a job at the Urban League. So I worked at the Urban League from 2018 to June 2023. And that's really where I started to like build community, make a lot of friends, and then like doing community engagement through Urban League and meeting like-minded people at different organizations. This is like coming to Seattle. People will say to me like, oh, isn't that a really like white place? Like where are the, and it's like, no, we're out here. We're out here. We're out here. And it can be so erasing to hear people say like, you know, that there isn't Black people here. But because for me, this is the time in my life when I've had Black community. Smile, say hi, like a lot of that, and like there's not as much of that here. But if you put yourself out there and you're the one to smile and say hi, then people are feeling it, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're ready to have an interaction and stuff. So I just try to like not change myself and just have like those sweet interactions with strangers and stuff like that. Like at the coffee shop and all that stuff.
See, honestly, that's why people need to be brave a little bit and just be like, hi, you know, how's it going? You know, I think because maybe there are not many few Black people in Seattle, I feel like people are like, if you go and people are likely to be like, oh my gosh, hi, how's it going? And like talk to you, because I don't know, it's just a different vibe sometimes. So, but I really, yeah. Seattle is a place where it will grow you and shape you. I'm not gonna lie.
I definitely feel like Seattle's kind of raised me. I moved here when I was 24, just turned 24, and now I'm 30. And so, I mean, that's like a good chunk of time to be like through your 20s somewhere. So, yeah, I love it here. I love my Seattle fam. Yeah. And especially living here through a pandemic.
Yes.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. And we've been, this community has been really showing up for each other and holding it down. So, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate
you
it.
too,
We should for sure hang out. You know, maybe I can make you some Tanzanian food sometime.
Please, I would love that.
Yes.
I miss my dad's cooking. He moved back to Tanzania.
Wow.
In 2017. Yeah, he was like, oh yes. He's like, you know, this is America. It's not the life.
It's not the life.
I gotta go back there.
I know.
Back home.
I feel him on that. There are moments where I'm like, why am I here? And then I'm like, okay, it's fine. But I'm glad he gets to be home and be a part of, like, have you been to Tanzania before?
Yeah, I go every year now since 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going in August.
Yes,
actually, shout out to Zanzibar. Everyone, put Zanzibar on your travel list.
Please do.
Google Zanzibar. If you haven't seen pictures yet, Google it, and you will be like, oh my gosh, I need to go there immediately.
Yes.
Like clear blue water, white sand beaches,
great
food, great people, and it's really an amazing tourist destination. So add it to the top of your list.
Please do. I love Zanzibar so much. I'm like always like, if you get to go, please go. Great food, great people, great weather. It's just a vibe, you know what I'm saying? It's just a vibe. So please go to Zanzibar.
Yes, thank you. Shout out. And speaking of vibe, so I want to go back to you being an artist. So what is your artist vibe? And so tell me about like your artist vibe.
Yes. So we'll go back. I feel like I never really had an opportunity growing up to really like invest in art, because African parents are just like, you need to go to school, study like this art. And so like, but I've always noticed that about myself, that like I love telling stories, whether it's through like writing or whether through like, I love watching like TV. Like that was one of my greatest things that entertained me growing up. And it just gave me a possibility to imagine different worlds than what I'm in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I've always been, even if I'm a very like economics centric kind of brain, but I think in 2017, I was like, you know what? My teachers always told me I was a good writer. Why not just start writing again? And so I started doing, my friends and I were a part of an art collective that we started together just so that we can encourage each other to do art and also do the same for other folks. And so I started writing some poetry, and then I really like writing short stories as well. I was recently a part of a writing cohort called Writing While Black, and it's such like, I would for sure understand suggest folks to check it out. Shout out to Cassidy, who facilitates and hosts it, and the theme was about solitude and silence. And so like I've really been enjoying just like being able to have my own lived experiences like written so that other folks can also like share stories, I guess. And also I think traditionally like my culture back in Africa, a lot of history is passed down through oral tradition. So there's a lot of like this tradition about elders sitting down and passing down their wisdom via storytelling. And so that's how I see it. And then I also currently manage an artist. Her name is Amila Love. Y'all should check her out.
Yes, shout out.
Shout outs. I'm shouting out everybody.
Please shout it out.
And we just released an EP called Along for the Ride.
Cool.
And it's such a beautiful body of work. And that's also another form. I feel like music is also another form of storytelling. And so helping a lot through like creative direction and also just supporting my friend in her music journey, and I actually helped co-write a song called "Heal the World" on the EP. And actually, it's a song that my friend was writing during a time when things were happening in Palestine in December, and we all felt like really like hopeless and being like, what is the point? Like, it feels like the world is ending. Like, is there real justice out here in the world? And I realized it's like, again, as you said, some things start within, and then realizing, we can heal the world, through our friendships and like love, and and the fact that like, yes, some things feel out of control, but we are speaking up and fighting against settler colonialism. And people's stories aren't going to be forgotten or swept under the rug as if things didn't happen. And so I think that's a lot of where like my art comes from. It's a way for me to like say that I have a voice in some things, and like not some things, probably all things. We all have voice in all things, and we can do anything that we want to do. So I feel like Nas, and I think art has really been gatekept by Hollywood too as well. And so, and right now Hollywood is crumbling as it should. And so that's also giving me more hope of like, art doesn't like, yes, we're positioned where we like told like, oh, to make it you have to have all these accolades, and I just fully disagree with that. I think art should come from community and be community centered and be access, and anyone should have access to be able to do that. And so I think that's where the art comes in. And and I think I love telling stories too, because in Swahili there's this word like Sana ni kioo cha jamii, which means like art is a reflection of our world. And so I feel like we need different forms of different art from different people, and so that's what is important, so that we can actually reimagine different worlds than what we have. So I think that's another reason why I really love art too, because so much of the world is like, oh my gosh, everything is going wrong, but things can go right. And what if we just make up our own shit? That's what white people did. So why can we do that?
Yes, I completely understand. And it reminds me of science fiction. So it reminds me of, this conversation is reminding me of Adrienne Marie Brown.
Adrienne Marie Brown.
And her book, Emergent Strategy. Shout out to that book. It's a beautiful social justice, learning from nature, learning from ecosystems, how to be in relation with each other. And it's also very magical and imagining new worlds. And there's a lot in that book. So definitely shout out. That's a beautiful book. And she's really inspired by the science fiction writer Octavia Butler.
I love Octavia Butler.
And love this idea of like organizing work. Community organizing is a form of science fiction. And imagining new worlds, imagining a world that we haven't seen before, but that we hope to exist. And then we work together to make that world a reality.
I totally agree. Like,
we have to be able to imagine it.
You have to. And I love that you mentioned Octavia Butler and
Adrienne Marie Brown.
Wait, there's so many. So there's Adrienne Marie Brown, and then there's Adrienne Brown. There's so many Browns.
I know what you're talking about.
But I also just really do love writing, like reading books from people who came before us, like Toni Morrison and Audre Lorde. Because again,
poetry is not a luxury by Audre Lorde. Shout out to that essay.
Shout out to all her essays, to be honest, because again, like, I feel like the things that they write back then still resonate till today. And so I'm just like, again, like, there's different ways that we can leave different like theories and like knowledge on how to propel the future. And so like a lot of my writing is inspired by those people. And so I'm just happy. Honestly, it's hard to like find joy sometimes, especially when things are hard and like you have to be at this 9 to 5 that you don't want to be at, or like, you want to do all these changes, but there are all these roadblocks. But again, I really appreciate being able to do art and be a part of art, experience art, because it's like one way that I feel like a lot of hope. I get most of my hope from. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And I love what you're saying about art and creativity and storytelling being accessible. Like it shouldn't just be like you need to have a certain degree or training or whatever it is. Like we all have a story to tell and a voice that really needs to be heard. Like no one sees the world through our perspective, and so anything that we share it could resonate. In their heart, but don't feel like maybe I'm good enough or something like that. You are good enough.
True. And
like because you are you.
You are good enough.
You are you.
You are you. Also, just find places to grow. Like, I joined this writing cohort. Find different opportunities to just, practice and learn, like writing sessions, or I see even y'all have some workshops and films here. I would suggest like stuff like that too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't seen this yet. I'm glad you drew attention to this. So this is a little flyer from Rainier Ave Radio and King County Parks and Columbia City Theater and Shunpike powering the business. Oh yeah. So it looks like it's information. You can find stuff on RainierAvenueRadio.world. It says the event is called Earth Deserves More Than a Day. And that's April 22nd through April 26th. Love that. And there's going to be films, workshops, professional and community networking, interviews, lectures, panel discussions, and more, and more. So yeah, this is a great example of like, find some groups or people that you resonate with, follow them on social media, and just like stay in the loop for cool events like this. And that's a great place to like start finding community. Yeah. And especially now that it's getting nice out. We need to be outside.
Be outside, get some melatonin, you know.
Yeah, some melanin.
Ah! I'm sorry, I don't know what the size
The melanin be popping. Melatonin is the one where you need to go to sleep.
Oh, we do not need you to go to sleep.
No.
We need you to be outside.
Yeah, we need to be outside. Everyone, there is nothing more beautiful than a Seattle summer.
Seattle summer.
So I'm ready. What are your summer plans? What are some stuff you want to be out here
I'm
doing?
going to see Missy Elliott.
Ooh!
Yes. I want to see Missy Elliott. It was a birthday gift. Thank you, Nahi and Ashley, for that. Shout out to them.
That is awesome.
And so I'm going to see Missy Elliott. I think I also want to travel. I want to be in the water because it's too cold to be in the water when it's winter here.
Yeah.
So
you got to do your swimming in like July.
Yes.
August.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be so much fun. Get in the water.
Get in the water. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Y'all
I lost track of time. I don't know how long we've been talking.
I have no idea.
But I'm so
either.
grateful for getting to sit down with
Thank
you.
you.
And please, before we get off the air, can you just shout out tell me again, where can people find you and follow your work and stay up to date on what you're doing?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Waku _K28. And you can also find out more about Diaspora Cafe at diasporaseattle.com. That's where we talk about Yaupon, and there's all about the business and events that we're going to have coming up, our little pop-ups that we're going to be having, which y'all don't want to miss because this drink is about to be lit this summer. It's caffeinated, so not alcohol. So
and it's cold? Do you have it cold?
We can have it cold, hot. We can serve it cold or hot. So
okay,
it depends on like what's on the menu.
Nice. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. I'm so excited. Hopefully there's still more over there. You brought a lot, right?
Like we ran.
Oh no. Okay, well that just means that stuff is good. So definitely follow up, make sure that wherever Diaspora is at this summer, that you pop up and try some of that.
Yes.
We are gonna be here at Black Earth Day until 2 p.m., an hour and a half. And so stop by if you're in the area. It is 70 degrees out here.
What?
Come join us at Black Earth Day. We'll be here till 2 p.m. and we got some great stuff going on. So thank you
for having me.
Thank you so much.
This was so great.
Yeah, this was awesome. I'm really, really happy.
And back in my day, when we wanted to hear the radio, we had to stick a couple of coat hangers on Grandpa's head so his cavity fillings could pick up an AM station. But it's the 21st century now, so whenever I want to hear Rainier Avenue Radio.world, I listen to it on the brand new Rainier Avenue Radio app on my Android or iPhone. Download it for free at the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio.world app.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle King County area since 1910. We partner with families, and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Citizens of America or citizens of the world, let us begin.
Rainier Avenue Radio.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Rainier Avenue Radio.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities,
And this is what they had to say.
Once we change and improve the mindset around what Black wealth is and can be, and show success along the journey, the longer term impacts will be huge. This is something that once we get there and at various places along the journey, we'll see that this is something that we could have done or could have begun a long time ago and simply managed to not yet find the trail. But once we do find the pathway, we'll be able to create something that no one will be able to take away from us, from our families or our communities. And like I say, the impact will be huge. So we can either talk about it or get on with the task. My suggestion is that we hunker down, cinch up our belts, and get on
This
with it.
campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
This is Mondo Bancaro for Mondo's World. We will be discussing some interesting subjects. Sometimes I might even have some guests. So please listen to my show on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not using my GPS to navigate the land of 1,000 dances, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities,
And this is what they had to
You see
say.
lots of people who've gotten rich quickly and gotten poor just as quickly and left nothing to their families and or the community. That's a big chunk of the piece that needs to change. We need to see people making their investment in their families and in themselves and in the community. We want to build all three of those elements. We want to establish long-lasting family and community wealth, not just people who've gotten rich and squandered it. Those who have wealth will be opposed to our breaking the status quo, so this will be a struggle. All those folks are used to how things have been for hundreds of years, and that's the piece that needs to change, and they need to be able to stand by.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is an important message about coronavirus. With coronavirus still spreading, those who are most likely to get seriously ill must take extra precautions. You are at a higher risk for getting seriously ill if you are over 65 or if you have any serious underlying medical conditions, like heart disease, chronic lung disease, like asthma, diabetes, or if you're undergoing cancer treatment. If you're at a higher risk for getting seriously ill, it's essential you take extra care to protect yourself. Stay home, avoid close contact with others, wash your hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, disinfect frequently touched objects like doorknobs and light switches. The choices you make are critical, and their impact is significant.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities,
And this is what they had to
When
say.
I think about generational wealth, I think about history. I think about the history of exploitation, what led us to today. Some people live a certain socioeconomic way, and the majority does not get to live in that same way. Perhaps they don't want to live that way. I don't know.
Generational wealth has some really strong positives and some really strong negatives. At its best, it's ways that communities can grow, find security for themselves. It's a way to make sure that your children and their children and each generation thereafter has opportunities to find joy and growth and make a difference in the world.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio .world, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Come on, right?
Hello, my name is Pastor Derek Lane, and I live and pastor here in the Othello community. I'm vaccinated because I know how illness can hurt the community. As a grandfather, I am boosted to help protect my 3.5-year-old granddaughter who can't be. I don't want to see members of my community die needlessly. And as a pastor, I've had funerals for those who caught COVID, but none from taking the vaccine. If you have questions, need resources, or want to make an appointment, visit kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me is setting up a safety net for the future, not only for yourself, but for the generations to come. To not have the future generations, maybe in your own family, to have to go through the same trials that you had to go through. Maybe if you went through something hard when you were younger, maybe being poor, being middle class, or not having the money to have access to the things that other people around you do. It's setting up that safety net so that not only you, maybe later in your life, but also your kids, their kids, can end up having the luxuries that you would have wanted when you were young.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
To me, generational wealth means access to joy. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it can buy a lot of things that make it easier. I find that when your basic needs are met, it's a lot easier to work on other things. Like even for myself as an artist, like I'm not the best creative, I'm not the best artist, but my basic needs aren't being met. And not having to worry about that for yourself, but also for the people closest to you, like your loved ones. To me, that's the beauty of generational wealth. To me, generational wealth is community. It's being able to talk to people and figure out what they need and help them. I feel like especially in Seattle.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Support for Rainier Avenue Radio comes from Cascade PBS, presenting season 2 of Out and Back with Allison Mariella Desir. Join Allison as she explores the Pacific Northwest with changemakers who are reclaiming space in the outdoors and creating opportunities for local BIPOC communities to engage with nature and find joy and healing. It's available now on Cascade PBS app and airing on KCTS 9 Thursdays at 8:50 p.m.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth is incredibly difficult to accrue. My mom likes to joke that we come from a long line of people who are bad at money. She always talks about wanting to buy a house so that she has something to leave her kids. I got really sick when I was a kid, and all our money went towards that. I had to leave college because I couldn't afford my next year's tuition, medical bills, and life. It's all so difficult. And then you think about wanting to leave something behind for your kids. Well, how can you leave something behind for your kids when and every day you're trying to make sure that your kids have joy and happiness and health and fulfillment today. Every day I'm really concerned about if I'll be able to keep living and making art in this city for myself.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me is wealth that has been accumulated from their ancestors, but their ancestors are usually the ones that aren't the ones that built it, but built off of POC ancestors in my own definition from what I see. Because not many POC people have that type of wealth, as you can see in many people's neighborhoods and communities. It's usually a white person. You can see it in gentrification around us and even in schools nowadays. But generational wealth is basically hard work that isn't really your own hard work.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Hi, I'm Paul Pearson of StarTime. Did you know that back in the 9th century, Rainier Avenue Radio was the host of the first annual Gregorian chant-off? Man, that was tight. Well, times have changed and so have we. Now you can hear all the great Rainier Avenue Radio shows on our mobile app for Android and iPhone. It's completely free on the Google Play Store and the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio app.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Women Empowerment Talk Radio, your roadmap to business success. Tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, providing resources and sharing motivational experiences from the everyday entrepreneur. Tune in Women Empowerment Talk Radio every Sunday, 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station, will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
The beat of the Fox with nastiness is back on K-Fox Night Beat.
Yo, what's the deal? It's the legendary Hall of Fame DJ Mixmaster Ice of UTFO.
What's up? Who you thought this is? This is Sir Mix-a-Lot.
And this is Terry Lewis.
And I'm Grand Mixer GMS.
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Third Degree.
This is JJ Hudson from the High Children family.
Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's K-Fox Night Beat with DJ Nastiness.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
That's right.
Peace.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violetta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Rainier Avenue Radio. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Women are not an homogenous group. We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Black generational wealth. For a long time, that's been a dream that needs to see reality. For hundreds of years, Black people have been in the United States and have suffered for it. We built this country, but have not yet really seen the dream come alive and what that means for Black people and people of color. This is going to take some time and some work and a lot of sacrifice, but people of color have always done that, and so it won't be any different. You don't need to do it alone, and you don't need to do it alone, because this is a community work project. It's going to take some rigor. It'll take a change in mindset for individuals and the community and the nation at large. This won't be simple, but that's okay. Nothing that's good or worthwhile is ever really simple.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio World. Rainier Avenue Radio.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no co-pays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep you healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org Elder Place. Providence.org Elder Place.
Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wipe things down, clean up your space. When you cough and sneeze, do responsibly. If you feel you're getting ill, isolate at home and chill. No, you're not alone. Please pick up your phone, call 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health Community Radio Station will provide you with more information. Say Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
God is Rainier Avenue Radio .world, your favorite community radio station. We're putting out all kind of inputs for you in your community. So come on and listen to us and tune us in. Get on our Facebook, Instagram, and all. As we're doing it right here for you in your community with Rainier Avenue Radio .world. And God is an inspiration of gospel music. Also, we're doing a lot of different things in your community. We give out free food. We give out a lot of things in the community. We do a lot of shows. We do a lot of things on the sports part, and we want you to come on out and tune us in and come to the community, and we do a lot of things in your community. So make sure you go to our website, Rainier Avenue Radio .world, and also go to the God Is website and look us up and see what we do in your community, something maybe you might like. So come on by and check us out from 11 to 2. Free food giveaway.
We must all remain committed to slow the spread of coronavirus, taking care of ourselves and not putting others in harm's way, especially those already at high risk of getting seriously ill, including people over 65 or those with underlying medical conditions. If you must be out, avoid crowded areas, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others, and wear a face covering. Wash hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, especially after being in public spaces. Avoid touching your face, cough or sneeze in a tissue, then throw it away. Disinfect frequently touched objects. And if you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. Slowing coronavirus means taking care of ourselves while also protecting others. Even if you're not at high risk, these steps should be taken to help slow the spread of coronavirus. We are all in this together.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil ang radyo po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in, Phil ang radyo every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
And in YouTube and Facebook.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here at Black Earth Day with the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle and the Black Farmers Collective. Thank you so much for tuning in with us again. We are here until 2 p.m. and it's really a good time and it's beautiful out. So yeah, welcome back, everyone. It's Zina again, and I am sitting here with our next guest, Naire Petty. Welcome on air.
Hi.
So good to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Okay. Well, fun fact is that I'm sitting here with the founder of Black Earth Day.
Oof,
the first year we did it was when? 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
our third annual.
This is the third annual Black Earth Day.
I don't know. Don't fact check us.
Yeah, don't fact check us. But yeah, so excited to talk to you about what's been going on the past few years. First of all, let's just kick it off with tell me about yourself. Name, pronouns, who you are. Yeah, no, definitely tell your sign. Shout out Capricorn. Sorry, I gave it away, but yeah.
Right, you couldn't wait. Hi, everyone. I'm Naire. I also go by Nai. I use she, her pronouns. And I was formerly at the Urban League as Director of Advocacy and Civic Engagement and on the Environmental Justice Council as the youth rep. But now I am working at the Department of Commerce as the equity analyst. And Zina's right. I did help found, or is it found? Lord. I did help build Black Earth Day with the Urban League and all of our partners. So I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah, what's it like seeing like this was like just a vision before, and then you and like all the other organizers made it happen in 2021, and the fact that it is living on. Like, how does that feel?
One is funny, said I laughed because I got here and I was like, oh, I'm not working it.
Yeah.
But technically I am. I have a station back. I'm like,
wow, Nick.
Boo, Nick. No, I don't know. Like, I got here and I was like, pinch me. I feel like I'm in a dream. It's really like, it's just beautiful to see how this started off as a really small idea with my friends.
Yeah.
You and Maya and Nick, Jude.
I still remember we were running around like crazy the days leading up to that first one, and remember Jude had to track down like some FedEx packages.
Oh my gosh, when the president came here for Black Earth Day.
Oh yeah.
Earth Day.
So it was the first Black Earth Day, and freaking Joe Biden
decided to show up.
So traffic was crazy.
Jude and Nick had to go to like a FedEx facility and go sort through the packages to find the supplies we were using for the event. Yeah. Wow. I don't know why that feels so long ago.
It feels so long ago. But yeah, tell me about like how this idea came to be. Like how you and your friends, how did you come up with this? And then like what was the process of making it happen? And shout out to, the collaborators and other organizers that made it all happen.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, it really started off with community engagement as a focus. I mean, the ACE team at Urban League, we were really making sure that we were doing community-based advocacy, community-based education, community-based research, and that involves meeting community where they're at, and recognizing that we are also a part of community. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of people, when they get in a lot of organizing or anything policy focused, sometimes they remove themselves from the definition of community, or community facing. And so I had to think about, like, if I were to throw an event that would, be something I would want to go to, what would it look like? And it would look like everybody's there. It'll look like everybody's included. And of course, there will be food.
Yes.
And there will be a bunch of free resources for the community. And so I think one of the big parts of the ACE team was helping push advocacy in the environmental justice movement in Seattle. And we knew that since we had the funding, a lot of connections, we were able to help build an event for environmental justice that was big. And that's where we thought of, throwing an event on Earth Day and making it for us. So that's where Black Earth Day came from.
I love that. That's so awesome. Yes. And like, there's all kinds of different educational aspects to it too that you were like including in the first time, right? Like, what is environmental justice and all of that stuff, like even like history on the environmental justice movement and everything, because I think a lot of people might associate it with like environmentalism with like white people.
Save the pandas.
And so they might be thinking like, I don't know, environmental justice isn't for me, or there's not space for me in that movement, or like climate justice, like I don't see myself in it and stuff like that. But like you really have helped change that narrative and introduce, like, bring people together to realize like, oh wow, we're really out here.
That reminds me of We Outside.
Yes.
We used to throw EJ events and we would call them We Outside. But I think, and that's one thing too, is that this narrative has already been debunked of the environmental justice movement is separate from like the civil rights movement. And if you look at the history, the environmental justice movement was started by civil rights leaders, and they were kind of neglected in those conversations, and it was for very valid reasons. And it's because I think a lot of, especially like white environmentalists, try to separate social issues from science and from our community, and that has taken up so much space. And it was very performative when you think about the environmental justice movement when it first started and people actually recognized it. It was a bunch of advocates, like especially white advocates, that would come and they would hold up all these protest signs and go on all these marches. And a lot of people don't realize that what they were doing were mimicking the civil rights movement, right? And a lot of the environmental justice started from Black communities calling out environmental health disparities and calling it for what it is. It was a very intersectional issue. It's not just about how our environment or our planet is treated. You can't have that conversation without including people. Sorry, I just feel like I just rambled, but
no, I mean that's what we're here for. We're interviewing you. So for people that may not be like actively like thinking about this stuff all the time, like can you just explain a little bit what it means, like environmental justice and environmental disparities and everything like that, like how that plays out and how that affects people.
How much do I have?
Woo! Like, we got time.
Okay.
Go tell us. And also shout out, because you talk about this stuff with like law school classes and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people. So I'm like, how much time do I have?
Yeah, so we're really here with a subject matter expert, and your time is valuable. And so I know,
am I getting paid for this?
So yeah, teach us.
Well, yeah, I think kind of where we started with, where environmental justice came from is from the essence of civil rights, right? Everybody deserves a healthy lifestyle, a healthy life. Everybody deserves human rights, and where you live shouldn't. And that's one thing we talked about too when we talked about. Gosh, I can't think of the word for it, but we talked about place-based advocacy, geographical disparities. Where you live shouldn't determine how long you live, right? Your zip code does determine your life expectancy. And that is something that has been advocated against since the civil rights movement, since before then. For example, like Cancer Alley in Louisiana, all the way to here where we see no support for Black farmers or urban farmers or food disparities. All of that is connected to our environment. We are a part of our environment, and a lot of environmental health disparities stem from racism. It stems from capitalism. It stems from social issues, because they could all be prevented. And so what the environmental justice movement is calling for, especially nowadays when we talk about like a just transition, is how can we move the discussion from environmentalism to intersectional environmentalism, right? Like how can we connect the dots between different social determinants of health? And it usually just it involves you looking at it from a intersectional perspective, right? Same thing with equity. And so, yeah, I feel like I could go on, but I would say like the start of environmental justice for me was I was learning about the environment. I was an environmental science major, and I was reading a textbook that had actually mentioned Seattle as one of the places that had a very large environmental health disparity. And I was like, oh, wow, because I was out of town, and I was like, this is very disturbing to read, because I thought it came from a very progressive, environmental friendly place. But I could see that people in my area, 98118, had a way shorter life expectancy rate than people who live in Bellevue, right?
Crazy.
And so,
and you mean and just so that we're really being clear, like literally we're talking years,
like 7 years, I think was the last thing I saw. Like,
yeah,
that's a long time. And they're literally right across the lake. So it's like it doesn't make sense based off of just our environmental factors. There are a lot of things that play into it, a lot of social factors that play into it. And this perspective of environmental justice is social justice is not new. And so that's where Black Earth Day comes in, is that you can't celebrate Earth Day without celebrating Black folks who pushed environmental justice using what we did for the civil rights movement, right? And so I really was looking forward to creating an event. Sorry. I was really looking forward to creating an event that, just gathered all folks from different forms of life to celebrate Black EJ leaders for the work that they do, because it's not easy to be in a space like environmental justice that is very much focused on real issues like
and it's, not to give up and everything. And so I think that's part of the reason why youth are so important to the movement. And really showing us like what it means to like not give up on the earth, not give up on the planet, not give up on each other. And so that's, can you talk to me a little bit about like the importance of hope and youth voice? And
I was also going to add in too, we had mentioned how important art is and creatives are to the movement, right? And one of the things that we wanted to do as part of all of our events when we first started Black Earth Day was make sure that we're like incorporating art as a form of expression, right? And not neglecting that. Like, for example, the flyers that we use from Black Earth Day, we put a lot of thought into it because we made sure that we hired Black or Black or LGBTQ plus artists to do the artwork, right? And so there's just like so many different people that can show up to the EJ movement. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted artists. Who did the art this year for Black Earth Day?
She's here. I can't remember her name, but she's so talented. She came here with her mom and dad, and she's still around here. But yeah, we'll have to, when it comes on, I'll make sure to shout out her and shout out her social media and stuff. Yeah, because that flyer is
beautiful.
Yeah,
Shout
actually,
is he for our last one?
Yeah, sure. And also like food, being intentional about like food that we're bringing into Black Earth
Shout out
Day.
Liza. I think it's Oliver Dalston Eats is our Instagram name. Shout out to them, and shout out to Black Farmers Collective for providing the produce as well. Yeah, I mean, like, as far as hope goes, it's, I don't know, like, this is a good to me that it started as a very small event and we weren't counting the amount of people that showed up. A lot of folks who are here are actually helping out the event. I think that's kind of a symbol of how we wanted Black Earth Day to go. It's showing that we are together, like we're here, we're outside, like you said. And as far as like youth voices, I think another thing I want to like shout out youth for this event is that we wouldn't be able to know how to keep folks coming out to our events if we didn't work in high schools and middle schools and have to learn how to keep youth attention.
Yes, speak on it.
Because shout out to youth at Foster, Rainier Garfield that we were teaching them about environmental justice and learning from them as well. It's our future, and need as much as possible. Even like as a young adult working in policy, I find myself in spaces where I don't have as many resources, counterparts, but I do have mentors that can, teach me and show ropes in the movement. And I think that's why it's really important to give back to youth, because at the end of the day, it's different. And so yeah.
That's powerful. They're teaching us a lot. And that reminded me, what was I gonna say? Well, this is kind of different, but another part of Black Earth Day, like we're on a farm, produce and stuff like that. We talked a little bit about like food. All of that, and what about someone that doesn't know how to like grow their own produce but is interested in it? How can they start?
Yeah, okay, that's a very packed question.
I know. So let's say there's a lot of here, not a whole lot of space. Like, what if I don't have my own little outdoor area or my own land yet? But is there a way I can still garden? Is there a way I can still grow my own food?
Yeah, so sorry, let me finish this. Somebody keeps asking me where I'm at this event.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I can start to wrap it up soon, but yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Cool. Let's say they have a little patio, they have a little balcony, or maybe just like a window.
Yeah. So like another reason why I got into environmental justice is the food justice part of EJ. growing in Seattle, like we do have a lot of Trader Joe's, a lot of PCC, Whole Foods, a lot of organic sections at our local grocery stores. But I grew up in like the Central District, pre-gentrification, and South Seattle, right? And at, sorry, at a certain point of time, like I realized like what was in like the food desert. That is kind of what South Seattle was for a long time. There was no PCC. There were very few grocery stores that actually offered affordable organic food, right? And so as I got older, I wanted to like see how I can have a more affordable way of eating healthy. And going to coaches as parents, like already something that we focused on in our household. And my grandma also, both of my grandmas gardened a lot too. And so I have a lot of expertise gardening just from family. I want to find the link between growing your own food, like living in the
Yes.
And it is very possible. It is very possible. It could be more possible if the city gave more funding to it and the state gave more funding to it. But it's not hard to garden. It's not hard to farm. Our people were all cultivators of food, right? And so it's earth. It's very natural. All you need is a seed and soil and water and space. Sorry, I'm rambling on and on. But
no.
But as far as the food justice movement, I do want to emphasize that there's no such thing as a food desert. Right? It's not a natural occurrence to live in a space that does not give you access to healthy foods.
Yes.
In this day and age, right?
Right.
And so I just want to stop that narrative that folks live in where they they deserve PCCs or Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or affordable organic foods. And one of the ways that a lot of Black people combat that is by building, or Black and farmers, or Black farmers in general, are building farms in urban areas so that folks who want access to organic foods have it right in their neighborhood. You start that in your own home. All you need is a coffee filter, some Ziploc bags and some water. Put
I
some
have all
seeds
that.
inside that. Keep it in the dark.
I have all that.
And then within like a week, you'll start to see your little sprouts, right? And sometimes, depending on, don't use like only one coffee filter. Don't be cheap. Use like 2 or 3 of them. Make sure it's thick. No. Please.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting food. Oh, they're making sure that we get fed.
Shout out Chef Liza.
Shout out Chef Liza. Chef Liza, thank you.
Taking care of us.
I know, because we're working hard out here. But
sorry, y'all. Commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break. We are commercialing for Chef Liza.
Commercial.
But no, really. What time is it? Okay, so it's 1:12. We have 45 minutes left in Black Earth Day. Come out.
Not you counting down the time.
It's been a long week, girl. Long week.
Where was I at? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And also the whole 7 to 14 days thing is perfect because like instant gratification is.
Yes.
Like I want to see things grow. That's why I like plant starts because like there's already something sprouted, and then you can just watch it get bigger instead of just seeds.
Yes, but I'm telling you, when you like, and some seeds like I saw down there were like 3 to 5 days, but this one kid was like, I have to wait 3 to 5 days. I was like, oh my gosh, that's not even that long. But yeah,
than a week.
But yeah, once you get the see the seed sprouting in your Ziploc bag, you have to be very careful. But you'll see the sprout will have roots. Then you can just put that sprout straight into some soil, and you're done.
Wow.
Just water it, take care of your plant, and that's how you start.
That's a good way to start. And then once you see it working out, then that can build confidence to
Yeah.
be like, oh wow, okay, little green
You
thumb.
can do things. Yes, you can.
Yeah, and then that can just be a way to start.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
I love
like
your
like
show.
a little bit of action, a little bit of like so someone can immediately once they're done listening to this be like, I'm gonna get out there, get my materials, and
Yes.
start.
Or
start
come
planting.
here.
Yeah, you're right. Some materials for free. That part. Okay, so Nick, our organizer today, he came up with some questions. I don't know how much time. we have left.
Okay. Hold on.
But let me ask you some questions that
Okay.
Nick came up with, and you can decide.
I
which
wish
ones
he
you
had
like.
sent me. I wish Nick had sent me these questions beforehand.
He's doing his best.
Yeah, I'm messing with him.
We are definitely gonna have Nick on the air here.
Yes.
soon. Okay, let's see. Ooh, interesting. How do you think the upcoming election will impact the environment?
No, he did not.
Okay, so there's that. But anyway, so that one is actually plan for climate resilient community. What do you suggest transition looks like? And what do you think is important to include in this planning? So you were talking about just transition earlier, and like that's a little bit of a buzzword. Not everyone's thinking about just transition.
It
And so,
is.
like, can you break that down?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna Google it.
Yes.
Just so I don't make sure I don't butcher it. But shout out to Friend Centered and Movement Generation.
Yeah. So
for the
yeah,
work they're
we'll
doing.
yeah, exactly. So we'll okay, it looks like Chef Liz is gonna get here next, but can
Oh.
you just answer that real quick?
Yeah, and so Just Transition, while it is EJ, it comes up from other EJ spaces. It is focused on just intersectional justice, right? So it focuses not only on social justice, environmental justice, but also economic justice. Right? And so in one of the big issues of transitioning to a healthier environment is our economy and like how much funding that we're putting into it. And a lot of times what we're realizing is that like you can't just put money on something as a day. There's many factors that you have to include to solve the issue. And the Just Transition, I can't name all the principles now, but I do is that you look at it's a great framework for transitioning to a healthier environment that includes all the different factors that are usually used as pushback when we talk about environmental justice or race justice, right? Like, where's food going to come from? How are you going to make these foods? So, like, there's already frameworks out there. A lot of folks don't realize there are frameworks. There is work and research being done to make changes. You can just Google it.
Yeah, Google Just Transition. And I love this conversation because it really shows that environmental justice, environmental movement, climate justice, like it's for everyone. You don't have to be like self-identify as an environmental activist to like plug in and know that like that we are all part of this movement. And also just to see like representation and to see like Black women-led stuff and Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ community and everything like out here doing all this great stuff. Like the room for everyone, and something that maybe someone hasn't thought that like there's space for them in this movement, but there is. And so having this conversation, I'm hoping that people feel like ready to get outside.
Yes.
You know, we're out here.
Yes. Well,
And
I'm
so-
happy that we like found our faces.
Yeah.
Shout out my mom, shout out my dad.
Don't
Rainier
forget
Beach.
Granny.
Shout out Rainier. Just playing, Grammy.
We love Granny.
But I love you so much. Thanks for coming. Thank you,
Thank you for your time.
Yes. Want me to grab Liza for you?
Yes, that would be great. All right, we're gonna have a break here. Thank you, Wendy.
You probably have questions about COVID vaccines. Here are some answers about how they're being made.
How are COVID vaccines being used faster?
Usually, vaccine testing and production are separate steps. Because of the pandemic, vaccines are being developed on parallel tracks, so both steps are happening just at the same time.
How are the vaccines being tested?
Right now, several different COVID vaccines are in testing, either through multiple clinical trials with up to thousands of volunteers.
How do vaccines get approved?
Not all COVID vaccine versions will make it to the final stages of testing and approval. Produced vaccines that do not pass clinical trials will be destroyed. But for those that do pass, a team of medical experts will examine test results and possible side effects. If the vaccine is effective and safe, it gets approved, gets to you. Go to covidvaccinewa.org to learn more. A message from the state of Washington.
Down and get some free food and let us continue to love on you. Don't forget to tune in. See you soon for free food and free entertainment. God is and Rainier Avenue Radio. .world.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? That's communities.
And this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me means to provide and establish wealth for generations to come, whether it be through real estate or through other equitable funding. Personally, it helps to work with a trusted financial professional to guide and steer you, because you're going to be making some decisions around how you spend your money, how you save your money, how you invest your money. Some of that will be strictly to increase the size of your wealth. Other parts of those investments might be something that you want to
are a person of color or not. To me, for this generation, to work really, really hard for intergenerational wealth to develop, especially with the economic system that Seattle's in right now. More than ever, having been in Seattle as well, I can talk about it more. And glad that this conversation is starting and consider thinking about it more. Person of color and coming from an immigrant background.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.org.
Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
The food, storage.
chills, shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell. What is staying home and isolate? Correct. Coronavirus for 200. Inability to stay awake, persistent pain and pressure in chest, no breathing. What is seek immediate help? Correct.
Coronavirus for 500.
Crippling and mentally dead infectious disease in the United States with vaccination.
Polio vaccine.
Correct.
I'll take coronavirus for 700.
The Daily Double! Should I take the coronavirus vaccine? Wait, hold up. This is not a game. It's time for serious discussions. We have coronavirus vaccine, but not everyone is comfortable taking it. Here's the facts. Based on what has been proven about vaccines for other people, COVID-19 vaccine may help keep you from getting seriously ill, even if you do get the virus. Getting vaccinated also will protect people around, particularly those at risk for severe illness from COVID-19. We don't yet have all of the answers. Get informed. Talk to your healthcare physician. Make the decision.
Welcome back. We're here at Black Earth Day. And about a half hour left to go. This event has been amazing. We picked it after a more beautiful day. Sunny skies, 51 degrees. We're out here with the community. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So this is Anna. Thank you for tuning in with us today for our live stream. I've got two guests for you right now. We've got Jewel and Liza. And so, yeah, we'll get to know our guests and the amazing work that they do in the community. Hear about their passion and how they're doing today. So, start out with this introduction. Your name, what you do, what you're representing today. We'll go ahead and start with you.
Hello, everybody. I am Jewel Shepard Sampson, founder and executive director of Kitsap Black Student Union. We are a nonprofit organization that caters to BIPOC youth over in Kitsap County. Our students are very active in the community. In fact, they're receiving an award on 27th this month. It's called the Washington State African American Achievement Awards. And so pretty much our program is a leadership program that has a lot of different aspects of leadership, including building cultural awareness, building confidence, career readiness, college prep, the list goes on and on. So we've been, we're almost at 2 years. Yeah, we're almost at 2 years. So it's been a blessing. It's been such a blessing to be in community and to also have the vibe of the young people. Black Student Union has always been probably a passion of mine since I was younger. I have volunteered for some of everybody. And then finally like this happened and I just put one of them together. We got our board together and students came in, they did their thing, and the city has been very responsive. So super excited.
That's beautiful. Congratulations on all of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. How do you work with youth? So, yeah, what is the importance of working with our youth and how did you find your place and want to work
For me, I would say it is my story. I moved out when I was 16 years old. We'll have a third this year, and so that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going. That's beautiful. Thank you for everything that you do. Yeah.
Honestly, I agree with what you said. Just being that person that I needed when I was a youth. I grew up in a big family, like 6 siblings. I don't know how many cousins. I've always been around children. So, yeah, they are where I feel safe. Yeah, and if I can provide that safe space for them and like me, just helping them grow to all of human, then or big human, whatever that looks like, I'm out. And right now it's good.
I really love the aspect because part of our project that got today for our program is called Just Breathe. And program it is, right? It's simple. But So the first year I did like that, and that then was just like, let me start eating every type of lettuce. And then I was like, okay, we're gonna grab it. We need to grow everything free. I've grown anything that I eat, I want to grow. And then just seeing the difference from what at the grocery store. I mean, we're not Whole Foods stuff. What you grow with your own tastes so much different. I had a good friend of mine about to Marcus. Was really teaching me how to make sure my soil is clean. You know how to turn it over here. I had a good friend that was helping Eric. And so, yeah, you know, I'm super excited to be able to start youth, and hopefully that they get just as excited. I know they came and they were like, "Oh, they're strawberries." I can say, like, yes, wait till we multiply. You know.
Like, beautiful people. Yeah, people get excited about this stuff, like how it like with the cooking and baking. You are trying to introduce them to and everything, like how it's being received.
I think so. For me, they're always like, Miss Jewel is always making us do something. And I'm like, well, yes, that's my job. You don't know what you don't know. You never tried it. And so I always love when they're like, I think I don't like it. I'm like, I know you would like it. I love it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it. Similarly, we had the art and introducing them into a lot of different art. We have a strong social justice component. We did a whole play. We produced a whole play. And yeah, so we did that back in January. It was The Colored Museum by Dorsey Wolf, a play that was written in 1968, I believe. It won a Tony Award. I mean, yeah. So when I realized that, hey, you're the producer, I was like, what? Producer? I've never done that before. That message was important. And it's important to really bring out
on top of seeing all of this racial injustice.
Right.
That's a lot. There's so
Right.
much to carry for anyone, especially our young people. So appreciate both of you for all that you do to cultivate safe spaces for our youth.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like you two just met a few days ago. Do you have any like questions for each other or like anything that's coming to mind that you would like to learn about each other? Oh, there's so many. Everyone's okay.
I'd say for me, so I was waiting for the song.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
These are reasons why in Kitsap. So what I was going to ask is, have you ever been to Kitsap County? It's a special place.
I haven't been either.
Really? I want to go. Well, I'll say this. Our BIPOC demographics make up about 11% of the community over there. But the Black community is like about 3.5%. And everybody credentials everybody, that situation. But I think that in order for us to really showcase culture and our capabilities, it's important to come over here. Right? It's important that whenever there are big incidents going on and we have an opportunity for our students to see, Black farmers, Black anything. I always talk about that, have you been to Atlanta before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how Atlanta has managed every aspect of living over there, you're not surprised to see there's Black people there.
Right.
In Kitsap County, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not like that. So, it's not a scary place. We've been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot, and so what I would love. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I am gonna say we gotta get you to Kitsap.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
We have a couple events that I'm thinking of, so I'm definitely going to reach out, connect, and make sure we can get you over. Yeah.
I know, I'm feeling the vibes. I feel like it's definitely partnership and collaboratory.
Sorry.
No, it's like I see a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. I feel like whenever people are like your children or in the community, it's when
it's the same for me too. Yeah. And I was gonna say shout out to Front Center because Front Center really is doing the work, and they are behind the scenes of a lot of different things in the community. One of the things that's important for us is to say we did like an environmental justice workshop back in 2022, and the kids were just baffled. They said they thought environmental justice was basically tree huggers. That's what they associated it with. And there will be people that will say, well, our people don't have time to worry about that. We're worried about housing and food and, job security. And I'm like, oh, that's environmental justice. It's all connected. It is. And so it's important for our youth to show up in those spaces, not just on the side of there's an injustice done, we're going to, band together and we're protesting. The next step of that is unregistered voters, registered vote, and two, we can't change policy if we're only out protesting. Bringing awareness over and over and over again does not change policy. So that's the route that we're on. Our students have went to Capitol, talked to legislators, had some opportunities to really advocate for the things that are important to them. And I'm sure that all students that we encounter have ability.
Yes, I love that. Can I stay on that topic for just a second? What about for people that think like, oh, my vote doesn't matter, or like, what's the difference if I don't contribute, or like that's not going to make a difference, but it really is, especially in local elections.
And local elections.
Talk about the importance of local elections and Yeah, like just what an impact that can make in life. Important to make sure to plug in, and when the ballot gets sent in the mail to you, pay attention to it. Yeah.
Yes, in Washington State, we literally mail the ballot. So you don't have to go anywhere. You get it, the postage is paid for. It's important to opt in. So I know that what I have seen a lot of with the groups that we do it. So circumstance middle school through college. And from middle school through high school, you know, they don't have an opportunity to vote yet. So they're super eager to have the opportunity. By the time they get to college, there's something that changed a little bit. What was concerning to me is historically, Black student unions were the catalyst for change. They were the ones who were on the front lines of the marches. And even in Seattle, there is a lot of historical information. Like Black Panther Party, the first Black student union was at the University of Washington. They partner with Garfield High School. Students, people in general, your vote does matter. If ever we are to change policy to what we want, what the people want, it requires doing the extra work. This year, I think
our staff needs to get back to work.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, but keep your train of thought. Okay, thank you. You're amazing. Everyone follow her on social media. Thank you so much. Bye, beautiful.
Bye.
Thank you for your time. Oh, you are too. We'll look out for where you're at this summer.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
I just wanted to finish the thought that, you know, your local elections is what that holds the most weight. Now we have a critical election coming up, you know, our major presidential election. And people have said that they're opting out because they don't believe this is important. But we can't lose momentum. I don't want to go back to the 60s, me personally.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
No, I think it's important that we use our due diligence to dig deep. And every opportunity that we have, we are encouraging young people that, hey, your voice is up. And this is where it matters. You may not be able to vote yet, but you can encourage the people around you.
Ooh,
You can talk to them. Our students are brilliant. They have, and it's not just talking things. They literally are taking the opportunity to dig into whatever topic it is, research it, and make sure they're well versed about it. They can talk about stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. I never looked at it that way, you know. So, this year I became a Washington State delegate, so I am a state delegate. So this is very new. It just started, but why I did is because I've been on the front lines in protest, and we're bringing awareness. We're doing all these things, and we are literally putting our bodies on the line, right? We're on the front lines, and to turn around and say, well, if for this policy to change, we have to go to the Capitol. We have to go to the federal government. Who's a voter? And, you know, half the people say I don't believe in the system. Well, you can't not believe the system is going to change, right? Yeah. So those two things don't work. It has always been the people. Every movement has been the people, it's been the young people that have been leading the way. So,
yes, and the environmental and climate movement is the same way. Like, it's our young people that are showing the way, showing how to keep the hope and keep fighting to protect our their future.
It's their future.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we have a lot to learn from them and take inspiration from them. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And something I was about is like, if people ever say that the vote doesn't matter, it's like throughout history there have been so many attempts to suppress the Black vote.
Yes.
And it's still happening. Within these little ways.
So here's a little thing. A lot of think that we have a formal process across the United States for voting. I always say, if you want to actually find out how something works in government, go volunteer. So I volunteered for elections. I volunteered at, to have the ballots. I've been the one on the phone answering questions, so I'm well versed on it. But no, there is no standard across our country. That is why in Florida they can say if you give someone water while they're waiting in line, you're going to receive a fine. That's why in Georgia they can say if you gather votes from the adult family home or senior citizen home, they actually have a fine now, even though it's sealed and you have to put a vote in themselves.
If our vote didn't matter, they would not be trying so hard to keep us away from the polls.
Absolutely.
And so, we have this right, and we should definitely be exercising it and show that we are here in Washington State. As of recently, like people who have been convicted of felony can vote.
Yes.
And I want them to know that. And so, don't ever think that you don't have the right to vote here based on a past felony or anything like that. You do have the right in Washington State, and
it is your constitutional right. So, absolutely.
Thank you, Jewel.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Get out the vote, everyone. It's important, Jewel. You are so cool. So inspiring. Before we leave, where can people follow your and how can they stay in the know?
Okay, so we have a website, it's kidsatblackstudentunion.org. The most current information is going to be on our Facebook page, which is under Kids at Black Student Union, and then our Instagram page, which is at kidsatbsu. We do have a page because we chartered a chapter of our organization at our local community college. And so that was under a separate page, but they're all still connected. And then I am also at Monad. So if you don't reach those two pages, and you'll still reach Kids at Black Student Union.
Yay! Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time and sharing your energy and space with me on the air.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. We're signing off.